Airports company South Africa has sought to outline its near and long-term agenda aimed at growth. Determination by ACSA on capitalizing in growing South Africa's connectivity to the globe comes amid a geopolitical tension issue as well as domestic challenges on the African continent. Acting Group Manager for Traffic Development at ACSA, Mpho Rambau, speaks to us about this. Thank you so much for your time, Mpho. Let's first start with the recapitalization program for ACSA, basically looking into how you want to traject in a global environment that is marred by geopolitical tensions.
Yes, thank you so much, Tumi, for having me on your show. Indeed, ACSA has pledged a very ambitious capital project where we are going to spend over 20 billion in capital expenditure. Half of that would be dedicated to replacing and refurbishment, whereas the other half will then go to new capital projects to expand our capacity, for instance, in Cape Town, ensuring that we have adequate terminal capacity to process the influx of passengers that we've seen in terms of growth in that region, as well as expanding our cargo capacity within the Gauteng region, primarily OR Tambo International, which handles over 80% of our total cargo within our network, and essentially poising ourselves for further growth, particularly in the cargo market going forward.
To what extent, Mpho, though, does it speak to a local agenda? And by domestic, I'm talking about the African continent as a whole, where ACSA operates.
So if you see South Africa's performance in the recent past, I think your previous interviewee articulated it very well. We have been seeing quite a sluggish domestic economy within South Africa. However, we've seen very good projected growth by the likes of the IMF, particularly for most countries within the African continent. And we've also had in recent years a change in the sort of regulatory and legislative framework that has seen a ratification of agreements such as the Single African Air Transport Market, as well as the Free Continental Trade Agreement. And these we see as very critical in terms of driving growth, particularly within the African continent. And that's something that we as ACSA are looking to exploit.
Tell us then about anticipated challenges along the way. What could be an impediment in this journey?
Certainly, we've seen a lack of available airline capacity within the African market, which essentially, if you look at most of the airlift capacity, it's really concentrated in a few regions, North Africa, East Africa, as well as SADC with South Africa. And primarily, this has always been the challenge in sort of expanding our connectivity into the African continent is the limitation in terms of available airlines that we as ACSA can actually partner with to actually further our traffic development strategy, particularly into the continent. But there are other issues such as, energy prices that are critical input in terms of the aviation sector. They constitute over 30% of airlines' direct operating cost, and any significant movement in prices has a significant impact on the airline's ability to actually operate profitably, which in some instances can actually lead to reduced connectivities as airlines scale down to actually protect their interest and operations.
All the best. That's where we'll leave it with Mpho Rambau.